Hello, my sweet friends. I hope you are all doing well. Welcome to day 8 of our 13 Days of Halloween series. If you're just joining in, you can find links for the first 7 days at the top of the description. Make sure you stay tuned throughout the video for the question of the day. Today we're going to create an almost 2-sheet wonder folio. Well, it's almost 2 sheets for the base. I really wanted to get through some of the offcuts from the Simple Stories Faboolous collection. We used that in a previous project, and I knew that having smaller pieces of pattern paper would mean that I needed smaller pages on the base. So I'm just creating a sweet little folio that would work well as a brag book or even as a gift filled with your family's favorite pictures so you can share your memories. If that sounds good to you, then stick with me and we'll make it together. I've got my paper here to create the base for our 2-sheet wonder, and it is going to be 11 high by 8 wide, scored at 4, turned, and then scored at 5.5. You can see I have cut all the way through to the middle where the lines intersect, and then I'm going to fold it over and then fold these flaps down. So that is one page. For the other page, I have 2 of these cards. They are 5.5 by 8, scored at 4. Then I'm going to join these 2 together by placing the corners and keeping the bottom and the side level. Then I'll flip it over and repeat that process with our second card. So basically I've created a flip book, but with full-size pages on the front and back. So let's go ahead and cover those with the pattern papers. I'm using up my smaller pieces of the pattern paper that were offcuts from the previous project. I'm also going to incorporate as many of the image cutter parts as I can, and they're going to act as tip-ins. I've just cut an additional piece of cardstock. Doesn't really matter how high at this moment, but it does matter that it is 2 inches wide and scored at 1. I'm going to add my double-sided tape. Bring this corner together. Then I'll just cut off the excess. I'm using my non-stick scissors for this so I can get through that double-sided tape. Now I'm going to attach it to my pattern. Add a bit more tape to the back. So now it's time to add those pages to the folio. And so the measurement for the full-size pages is going to be 5 3/8 by 3 7/8. For a couple of the pages inside the folio, I'm going to join a couple of patterns together to get the amount I need to cover the full space. So I'll bring in that first page, and this one has my combined patterns along with that tip-in that has the journal card image. And now you can see that I've covered the amount of space that I have, and I've been able to utilize my offcuts. So I'll just continue to work along with that same process and the same measurements to get this filled up. gonna go ahead and add that pattern paper to the back for a nice finished look all the way around. Flip back to the front. So I am joining my patterns here again, this time just for a little bit of extra detail. Gonna layer on a small doily. This is a Recollections doily. This will just help to break up a little bit of those busy paper patterns. So I want to create that little shaker pocket, and I'm just starting with this little badge holder. I picked these up from Walmart in a pack, and it just has a little pocket here that you would slip your ID into, but I have cut down one of the image cutter parts so that it will slide in here. I very specifically chose this one because I was able to cut it in such a way that I could leave a lot of the bottom without an image in it, so that when I put the sequins in, I'm not going to be covering what that image is about. And then I'll go ahead and use my tiny attacher to secure the top. So I've got some sequins here in the Halloween colors, and then there's also a couple little stars as well for a little variety. And I'm just going to hopefully pour those into here without getting them everywhere. So I think I have a good enough amount in there. I'm taking out a couple of those star sequins because they went in upside down, and I'll just go ahead and add them back in the right direction. And now you can see that there's quite a few sequins in there, and they'll shake around a little bit, but they're not going to hide the image. So now what I want to do is just come in with my tiny attacher . I guess if you had a fuse tool, you could use that as well. But now I know that none of those little sequins are going to escape. So now I want to add my little shaker pocket to the front of the folio. So I'll come in here with my tape, trying to keep that behind the image so that it doesn't show through. And then I also want to add that Tombow. I always have good luck securing non-porous things with this Tombow, so once I get this down, I'm confident it will be well secured. Just going to center that bottom section onto the doily. So try and get that square. See, if you put too many sequins in, I don't think you would be able to get it down flat. I did cut a piece of the scrap to cover the top, but now I'm thinking that my flower arrangement will cover that just fine. So I'm going to go ahead and add that now with a little hot glue. Now it's time for the question of the day. Would you rather spend the night in a spooky house or walk through a dark cemetery? I'm going to say cemetery because if I'm in a spooky house all night, I'm stuck there if something scares me. But if I'm just walking through a cemetery and something frightens me, you better believe I'll throw it into high gear and get myself to the other side very quickly. So let me know in the comments what is your pick. So let's just go ahead and flip through here real quick and see all of those fun details. Lots of room for pictures and journaling. And then remember that it's going to flip up as well. So we'll have this side and then this side. That is all for day 8. Make sure you plan to come back tomorrow for day 9. If you enjoyed this tutorial, let me know in the comments and give me a big thumbs up for this video. As always, I added links to the description so you can find the products I mentioned as well as all our socials. And if you're not already, I would love for you to subscribe and join my crafty little family. As always, I'm wishing you a happy and productive day, and I thank you so much for watching. Bye.